I said that I was gonna show you what I made, and yeah, I know there are better ways of recording a screen. I know it's 2025. I could screen record, but I can't be bothered anymore. Like, this has been like a pain, and I can't be bothered to do that right now. So you can think of it as if this is like 2014 or whatever, when we used to do this all the time. Anyways, I made this. First, there's this login screen. It's gonna be hard typing it while holding the camera, holding the phone, but whatever. I wanted to show the login screen as well. So when I type the password, it shows this screen, show or submit, which where I can choose between Hyprland or Cinnamon. I know I probably should have put it in the center of the screen. Look where it is, but whatever. Maybe I'll do something about it later. So when I choose Hyprland, it boots, and this is how it looks. Yeah, my logo in ASCII, and this is me. This is a video of me doing what is it called, a shoulder roll or whatever it's called in English. This took a while to convert into ASCII, dude. This took a while, but yeah, I done that. That's my background. I made this panel also like from scratch and made everything from scratch. Took a while. It was a pain. Anyways, let me show you what I have. So obviously, like, there's no icons, there's no desktop. This isn't even a desktop. This is just using keybinds. So I binded like the super key or whatever, the Windows key with the T opens the terminal. With the E opens my file manager, which is also in the terminal. It's just another terminal window. With super key with S opens Sublime, which is my text editor that I use to edit my website. Or I can just use with the N. This is just a regular text editor, kind of just like Notepad, but it's LeafPad because it's Linux. It's called LeafPad. Anyways, and they tile, and I can just switch to a different workspace also with keybinds, and I can open, I don't know, terminal here or as many as I want. It's a tiling window manager, so they just tile. I can close them as quickly as I can open them, and I can quickly switch between these workspaces, you know, boom, 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 boom. And yeah, so let me show you what I actually have in here. I'll start with the panel, I guess. This is just the shutdown menu. This is for searching. So also there's a keybind. Let me just close some of these windows. Wait, what am I doing? It's hard while holding the phone. So one of these, I'll close this without saving. Wait, I don't need this. Nope. When I use the letter D, super key plus D, there's this for searching. It's called Wofi. It's for searching stuff. And in the panel, if I click on the search thing, yeah, my monitor is kind of, I should wipe it. I just noticed it now. Also, because everything is like black, so it's more visible. This opens the same thing. And the folder thing I'll get to in a second. This just shows my CPU temperature, which is great actually, dude. On Windows, it's like always about 50 something, I guess, 40 something, 50 something. Even that is not too bad, but this is much better, yeah. This is just for changing my keyboard layout. This, I can mute sound here. And this is just the volume, to change the volume. And also when I click on it, it opens also in the terminal. It's another thing I made in the terminal. And also the calendar, when I click on this, the calendar is also in the terminal. So I try to basically make everything in the terminal. As many things as possible in the terminal. However, there are options. You don't have to use everything in the terminal. I have alternatives as well. So for example, for the file manager, I actually have three options. The first one is this button that I said I was going to talk about later. When I click on this button, this one is more of a novelty. It just looked cool. Wait, I can even close this window. Wait, let me close this window. It looked cool, but it's not as usable. But when you click on this, a panel appears on bottom, like this text. And this is like a minimalist file manager. But it doesn't even seem to work right. It probably would if I like configured it. But wait, where are my pictures? Is this, what folder is this? It's very hard to use. And oh wait, this is the root folder, right? I don't even know. Whatever. It's kind of minimalist, and it's not very easy to use, and it's not even, probably it's not configured properly because it's not opening files, just the folders. But yeah, I closed it by escape key. So that one just looked cool, and I tried to get it to work. I didn't, but whatever. Other one that I actually already shown, I think, is, I binded it with the E, is the file manager in the terminal. And you can use your mouse or you can use your keyboard, like blah blah blah. It's even easier with the keyboard, it's quicker. And I also, as I said, have alternatives. So I think I bind it with the key M, which is like just a regular file manager. I think I used Nemo. Yeah, I used Nemo, just with this theme applied. So those are my options for file managing. If I want to use the internet, I can do it in the terminal. So W3M is the thing, is the name of the software I used. So let's see, I can type anya.cafe. And when I entered it, it opens the page in terminal with just the text. However, his main page doesn't really have much that I can open here. Maybe the links page will open. Let me see. I keep forgetting. You can also use the mouse, which is much faster. Yeah, it won't open. But if I use his index 2, that actually has more. Did I type it right? Yeah. Man, it needs to focus. All right. So index 2 has a lot more options, and when I scroll down, I keep forgetting I can use the mouse. It has his blog. So when I click on this is actually pretty usable. I can read his blog fully. Can go back. Should double click if needed. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, because he used JavaScript. Oh, okay, he didn't use a link. Okay, so it's not as usable, but it's somewhat usable. So that's option number 1. Second option is, I think I binded it with the B for browser, is this little boy. Now I made this page. Now this was fun to make, but it was pretty simple. It's just a local file. I tried to put it on the local host thing so that something else will be displayed here other than this ugly URL, but I couldn't get it to work. And after a very long time of trying, I ended up just giving up on that and just using a local file. It doesn't really matter because it's just locally on my computer. I might put this on my website. I don't know yet. But I'll show you what it does. So if you search for something, let's say iSmile, it opens. It's a bit slow. It searches on FrogFind, but FrogFind uses DuckDuckGo, and I used a theme for the I used an extension. I used an extension where I changed a CSS to make it match with my aesthetic. But if you look at the URL, it's the FrogFind. And FrogFind is pretty cool. I don't know if you've heard of FrogFind. It's a search engine that's made for old computers, but like really old ones, where it works with HTTP. And when you search something and you open a page, whatever page, I don't know if this one's gonna work. Yeah, it doesn't work. More complex pages don't work, but more simple pages. Let's go to or we can open a page and then this URL bar here opens and then we can change it. It's opened Onyo's page, or his index 2, onyo.cafe/ his index 2. It opens the page with just HTML. So there is no CSS. It is more complex than the one in the terminal, but it's still just CSS, and this is usable. This one's actually pretty usable because, yeah, maybe this doesn't work, his like intended back button, but I can just go back like this, and it is a bit slow. It's some things, yeah, sometimes it loads faster, yeah. And this is usable actually. It's pretty usable and it's like minimalistic. and you can open whatever page you want with it. Now, you may notice I have 3 buttons. I have Google, DuckDuckGo, and Bing. Google and Bing censored with special characters. So if you click DuckDuckGo, it opens what we shown before, which is the FrogFind, which uses DuckDuckGo results. It uses results from DuckDuckGo. But if I click on the Google button, it opens Start Page. You can see the URL. It opens Start Page, but with my custom like extension that I use to change CSS, to inject like custom CSS into the page. But obviously, yeah, this shows like normal web pages. So if it's not like FrogFind that shows like simplified versions of pages. So Start Page uses results from Google, but if you open a page, it opens like the actual page, which kind of takes you out of the illusion that everything is terminal. It kind of doesn't fit, but whatever. And the third button, which is the Bing button, just opens Web Crawler. Web Crawler uses results from Bing, and I also use the custom theme, like with everything. It also uses regular pages. So that's iSmile search. I also put some bookmarks here. So these blogs, like iSmile, Onion, Kuroi blog, they're just in FrogFind and simplified versions of the blogs. Kuroi unfortunately couldn't get her kvitter or whatever quitter because it's in like a page. It's not on a separate page, so I could only open her blog, which okay, yeah, it's HTTP, so sometimes that thing will appear because FrogFind mainly uses HTTP. But yeah, this is also usable. There's only a few posts. She mainly uses her kwitter for posts. I could also use her NeoCities page. It shows her like weblog or whatever. But yeah, if I click on my home page, it just opens my ASCII page, which is in this kind of aesthetic as well. Games opens just my games, and this thing is something that I wanted to show, which is actually it's something that I was working on, and I don't think I'll finish it. It's like the current project that I'm working on my site. I don't think I'll finish by my break, but so I won't upload it yet. And it's not terminal. Like the page I'm working on is not. It's just that the page has a terminal, but like it's not. Terminal is not all that I'm working on, if you understand me. Like I'm working on like this new thing, but terminal is one of the things it has. And when I open, I need to mount the drives. I forgot to mount the drives. Wait, what's the quickest way I can do this? I think if I open Nemo and I just click on it, it should mount it, and then I refresh and it works. There we go. So I'll just show you a few commands in my terminal. This will be on my website when I'm done. So for example, you can go, it's hard to type with like one hand, print, so I can type print hello world. Yeah, that's very simple, and it will print hello world. I don't even have to put any kind of like quotes, it will work. Or if I do 5 print hi, it will print it 5 times. I can also use the echo command, and it does the same thing, like 5 print, print echo, it will print it 5 times. So now you may ask, what's the difference between print and echo? Well, if you do print 5 plus 2, can you focus? It does it, but if you do echo, it just shows the original thing. And there's a bunch more commands, like if you do, you can type clear or just CLR for short, and it clears the whole thing. There are more, like if you type, Star Wars, it shows the Star Wars thing. I think if you type quit, it ends. Oh wait, not quit, exit maybe. Oh no, exit opens the home page. Exit actually leaves this page. How do you stop? Is that it? Yeah, stop, okay. What else commands I made? I made a bunch of commands. I don't even remember them right now from my head. I should look at the code again. Maybe this will be enough for like displaying the commands. Yeah, there's more commands, but I can't remember them right now. So yeah, That will be on my page soon. I don't even know why I showed that, because that was like totally random. That was like not part of the thing. Obviously I have, as I said, I also have my other desktop environment, the Cinnamon, that I can boot from. I can actually boot by using the TTY. Let's open it. Boot TTY. I type slow with one hand. So I made this command to work, so I can just type start and whatever I want, and it will open. So it's start Cinnamon. Boom. And it will open my Cinnamon, which is my other desktop environment, which is like more Windows-like, you know, it has a taskbar and everything, and it's like more traditional. I think I can delete all these. Oh my god, the theme is from the other one. Yeah, the themes are kind of broken now. But that's only because I have also the other one running, so I can switch to the other TTY or whatever it's called. Boop. So probably because I have Hyprland running at the same time, the themes. Yeah, because this one applies the theme when it runs. Yeah, the same thing would happen if I started with Cinnamon, if I booted into Cinnamon, and then I opened a separate TTY and ran Hyprland, the theme here would be broken. Yeah, that happens. But yeah, I don't know what else I wanted to show. That's pretty much it. When I open the power menu, for some reason, sometimes they're arranged properly. Sometimes they're scrambled around. I think maybe, is it alphabetical? A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, Q, R, S. No, it's not, because L goes before R. I have no idea why. It's 6, 5, 2. I really don't know why it puts it in this order. This looks totally random to me. The reason why I put numbers is because it would just sort it alphabetically. So I put numbers so that it would be in order, and it was. But then I rebooted and it was 6 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then every time it's a different. I don't understand why. Like, is it the one that I used last? It's not. I don't understand how, like, based on what it arranges it. But I couldn't figure that out, and I couldn't fix that. It took me a while. Now I have, okay, for the end, before I end this, as a conclusion, I'm gonna say making this was not fun. I thought it would be fun because I like, the only fun thing was, wait, not terminal, was working on the web page, which was pretty simple and basic, but that was the only fun I had. And also designing, like changing I didn't put a search term, whatever. Designing, the custom themes for these, like in the extension, those were only fun things, like getting all the class names and then changing everything to match my aesthetic. But working on the actual system was not fun at all. I had to make everything from scratch, and I thought it was going to be comparable to web design, so I thought it was going to have fun. No, it was not at all. Even things that use CSS, for example, this panel used CSS, but even that was different. Like, I couldn't use width or height. It had like special kind of CSS that I had to use, not like regular that I'm used to. And I spent hours and hours and even days on like the most basic things. Like, first whole day I just spent just getting to boot. Second day I spent the entire day just getting two things: sound to work and changing the keyboard layout to Serbian. Just those two things took me hours, like literally the entirety of the day. I spent days just getting this stupid error which I had on top gone. But the one thing that I think was the biggest thing that I spent days, like hours and hours, which turned into days, was getting the theme to apply on all the windows. Because, for example, I finally made everything right, and then I opened the file manager and it's white instead of black. It was white, and that took me days. That took me and so much troubleshooting, and I wanted to pull out my hair or my eyeballs or whatever. And in the end, it was such a stupid thing. You know what it was? I put lowercase name of the theme, and the first letter was supposed to be uppercase. That was the only thing. And I just spent like troubleshooting. It was crazy. It was like suffering. It was just suffering. Like working on this was such a pain. And while I was working on it, I told to myself, I'm never installing Arch again. I'm never doing this again. I'll just do what I did so far, and I just install if I'm like installing Linux next time on like another laptop, I'll just use a desktop environment like Cinnamon that I'm used to, or if it's like an older laptop, maybe something older like Puppy Linux or something. But I'm not installing Arch ever again. But some time passed, I calmed down, and I think I might in the future. But I think my main issue is that I don't understand what I'm doing. So a lot of times I'm just pasting code and getting angry that it doesn't work. Just copying and pasting code from the internet, from like Reddit, from Stack Overflow, whatever, and vibe coding stuff and all sorts, because I don't understand what I'm doing. And I think that's the core issue. But with time, maybe if I like learn more and understand more, I think I would install Arch again. But and also with all the issues that I had, like all the issues I stumbled upon with all the things, I think I've learned, like I've realized how to solve those issues next time I do it. So I think next time I would do this, it would be much easier because I already went through all the hard stuff. So I know how it is. And I could also copy stuff from here, my config files from here. If I want to make something akin to this again, I can just copy what I did here, open the config files. I can even transfer probably the config files to the new machine and just, yeah. So I'm yapping. This last part was probably unnecessary. But yeah, I just wanted to say this was just pain, suffering, not fun to make at all. And yeah, is the video, I thought the video ended because ad just showed up on my phone. What the heck? Anyways, yeah, I think that's it.